I'm good to go, I'm diamond, you know I glow.
Jimin's got such a nice soft mix to his high range. I mean, Jimin's voice just sits up there. He's so lucky. His voice is just like, it exists up in his high range. His voice doesn't sit super low in his voice. You know, he doesn't talk down here where I'm talking right now.
Run, run, lost boy, they say to me. King Kong, kick the drum, running on like a rolling stone.
That amusement park looks so much like one, at least that specific shot that they started him off at, looks so much like one in Toronto that I used to go to all the time called Wonderland. Just reminds me of that. So far, his vocals are just on point, man. Like, so tight. Just his falsetto down to his mix, seamless, and overall very released, very relaxed, and he's putting on very good energy.
If you want to see an uncut version of this video, check out the link in the description.
Can't hear the bass, boom, I'm ready. Life's sweet as honey, yeah, this beach chain like.
Okay, that is definitely lip synced. RM is lip syncing. You can see it's specific spots where he's just not even singing. Like,
Hey, hit the bass, boom, I'm ready.
okay, so look at ready. The word ready, he doesn't say it. I'm just being totally honest here. I'm not trying to rag on them. That's just my honest opinion. So, okay, now it calls into question what Jungkook was doing, but let's keep rolling and see what keeps coming.
Life's sweet as honey, yeah, this beach chain like my.
Look at honey right there. He did not say honey. Yeah, BTS overall are very bad at lip syncing. So when they lip sync, it's very obvious. If you want to sing with more confidence and power, then you have to sign up for my lesson subscription. You get 2 group lessons with me personally every single week. You get access to all my courses, and you get access to recordings of all my one-on-one lessons with my students. That will help you learn vicariously through them. Click the link down below to sign up now.
Disco overload, I'm into that, I'm good to go, I'm diamond.
Okay, so J-Hope did a much better job. So I don't know if that's lip synced also. But just the fact that RM is lip syncing, it calls into question the whole performance. Okay, so wasn't a close-up of Jimin's face, but it sounds different than the original. So it's hard to tell there whether Jimin was lip syncing or not. I'm going to try not to make this a whole guessing game of whether or not they're lip syncing, and I'll try to just make some. Because whether or not this was pre-recorded and now they're performing it, that's essentially the same thing they're doing here, because this could be done in multiple takes also. So
Tonight, skies are light, so it does to break down. Ladies and gentlemen.
okay, so there, what V was singing. When you're actually singing something, you can kind of hear, based on the way you're hearing it, you can hear how much their mouth is going to be moving. And V wasn't quite moving. Like, he was speaking the words more than singing it. So, yeah, again, I don't know. This was on a recommendation. Somebody recommended that I check this performance out, but it's looking like it's lip synced so far.
Hear the bass, boom, I'm ready. Love it, sweat it, honey, yeah, this picture chain like money.
But it's also possible that certain members are lip syncing and certain members are not. So there it looked like Suga isn't lip syncing. But I said I wouldn't talk about it anymore, and that's it. I'm going to leave it off from here. Everything I'm going to say from now on is just going to be talking about vocal qualities and yeah.
Overload, I'm into that, I'm good to go, I'm diamond, you know I glow.
So Jimin's got such a nice soft mix to his high range. I mean, Jimin's voice just sits up there. He's so lucky. His voice is just like, it exists up in his high range. His voice doesn't sit super low in his voice. You know, he doesn't talk down here where I'm talking right now. If he did, it would be much harder for him to get that high in his range.
So let it focus up, light it up like dynamite. Whoa.
All right, so the vocal there for V is sounding awesome. Definitely lip sync there for V. 100%, but his vocals sound incredible. So it does sound a little bit different than the original vocal. So it could be that he recorded it and then kind of punched it in. It's possible.
Light it up, dynamite.
So out of all of them, as far as their falsetto goes, Jin is having the roughest time kind of connecting his falsetto with his mixed voice. So if you listen to Light It Up Dynamite. So if you listen to the volume level of Light It Up Like, which is all falsetto, versus Dynamite, which is going into his full mix, there's a massive difference. Whereas when Jungkook and Jimin, let's say, or even V do it, it's a much more comparable. And so that's really where improving your falsetto and really working on that upper register can really help. Spending more time there so that it's nice and released and you can really get more volume out of it can really help to blend it much easier. So you hear on V's vocal right there, the Light It Up Dynamite, there's a much more similar volume level on Light It Up and Dynamite. That shows that there's just a little bit more release in his falsetto to be able to bring in a little bit more volume. Whereas Jin's was just a little bit on the quieter side. And I think he was trying to find that release, but couldn't quite find it.
Me bring the fire, set the night light.
Shining through the
All right, so that was a nice close-up of Jimin singing, right?
Bring the fire, set the night light.
So listen and watch Set the Night Alight. That part, very clearly, he's not saying alight.
Bring the fire, set the night light.
No, the word set actually. Set, it's just not there.
Did it with the little pocket soul. Light it up like dynamite.
Oh, so there actually, Jin's falsetto was much better matched to his mix. And sometimes, and I was thinking this as we were going through it, I was thinking if he brought it a little bit higher, his falsetto might actually come through more clearly. And this happens often with people because falsetto can have a specific range where it sits the strongest in somebody's voice. And so for Jin, it sounds like it sits quite high up. And so once he brought his voice up to that spot, it just kind of pocketed the sound where it started to resonate much more.
Like the dynamite.
But you can definitely hear the difference in vocal qualities and tonality of how Jin and Jimin approach their voices here. So this is like the perfect example. So if you listen to Jimin's vocal right here, listen to how much nasal airflow. You can kind of hear how he's like allowing a ton of airflow come through his nose.
Like the dynamite.
Whereas now listen to Jin. Jin uses much more of a mouth heavy mix here. So it loses a little bit of that cut and that upper brightness right here. Like nah, nah, as opposed to nah, nah, which has a little bit more of that brightness. And now I'm playing around with kind of two different registers as well, but you're hearing those differences between Jimin and Jin. Both are valid ways to do it, but if you want a voice that's going to cut through the mix, the way Jimin's doing it is going to cut much more. You're going to have to do things to boost Jin's vocal to be able, I hope I said that right. Jimin's vocal is going to cut more. Jin's vocal is going to need a little bit more adjusting to be able to cut. And so V's got tons of that, like Jimin has tons of cut in his voice. Because if he didn't, because he's a baritone, if he didn't, it would be lost. Awesome. I mean, whether or not that was live, it was still an awesome performance. Great dancing, incredible choreography, incredible layout, staging. The whole show was just really incredible show. I wish we could be there live. You know, nowadays we can't do anything live. Hopefully all these lockdowns will end soon and we can get back to regular life. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button down below. If you want to see more videos like this, check out that one right there. I know you're going to like that one, so click it.